Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. The title of this video is Is Sudan preparing for an all-out invasion of Ethiopia? And what I mean by that, could we see a large-scale invasion by Sudan to seize the area around the Grand Renaissance Dam? So within the last few days, Sudan has made statements regarding past uh, territorial disputes in regards to the area around the Grand Renaissance Dam, and specifically the original treaty, which had given the area around the Grand Renaissance Dam to Ethiopia, specified that the blocking of the Blue Nile would be forbidden, and the Sudan sees this as a possible pretext for military action to once and for all solve the issue of the Grand Renaissance Dam. So we have seen some force accumulation near the Grand Renaissance Dam by Sudanese forces. Now, could Sudan launch an invasion of the area around the Grand Renaissance Dam, penetrate 10 or 12 miles into Ethiopia, and seize control of the Grand Renaissance Dam? Well, by itself, no, it couldn't. It would be an incredibly challenging endeavor for the Sudanese armed forces. If we look closely at the Sudan side of the border, we can see that it is incredibly sparse. There is very limited infrastructure, meaning no major towns or cities, with the exception of if you move farther north towards Damazin, and this is probably the largest town closest to the Ethiopian border. And again, it's not a large town with not much infrastructure in terms of facilities to hold aircraft, as you can see from the map. Now, that's not to say that Sudan, with the help of Egypt, could not prepare this area for further military operations at some point. But right now, the area is just not conducive to the sort of military operations that would need to take place to seize control of the Grand Renaissance Dam. And if you look at the area around the Grand Renaissance Dam, you'll see that it is fairly well protected with mountains on all sides, with a flat level plateau extending near the Ethiopian-Sudanese border. So the Ethiopian army would have the benefit of fairly significant infrastructure already in place because of the building of the Grand Renaissance Dam. They've already fortified the area to some extent with air defense systems and local military units and actual Ethiopian army units. So a move by Sudan to physically occupy and seize control of this area would be an incredibly challenging endeavor for Sudan. And unfortunately, at this point, I do not believe Sudan has the capability of launching a ground invasion that would not be excessively costly to seize control of the Grand Renaissance Dam. Now, Egypt could come into play as well. And if the Egyptians were to intervene and lend support and build up infrastructure where the Egyptians could utilize more advanced attack helicopter gunships. The Egyptians could bring in more advanced systems, aircraft systems with precision-guided attack munitions, JDAMs, long-range strike missiles, the ability to suppress these air defense radar sites near the Grand Renaissance Dam could very easily be done by the Egyptian military. And these we've heard reports that Ethiopia has moved further air defense assets into the area, but these forces would be quickly suppressed by the Egyptian Air Force and really not play a large role into any kind of conflict. But the Egyptians could definitely operate and cause significant damage to the Grand Renaissance Dam. But again, a full-scale Sudanese invasion where they would actually physically seize the areas around the Grand Renaissance Dam, that would be a very, very large, complex endeavor that would require, again, many more resources to be built up into the area. And again, even then, it would be an incredibly challenging endeavor because of the terrain that is around the area. Again, you can go in and you can see for yourself. It would not be an easy endeavor by Sudan to seize this area. But again, we'll keep an eye on the situation and report back as news occurs. Thanks, everybody.